red flag goes away. This is the race we've been waiting for all season. We're in Mugello, round 6 of the Motogp World Championship, the Grand Prix of Italy.
Oh, that looked like Andrea Iannone might have jumped the start. He got an exceptional start. He had a glance to his left. Did he jump the start? Dovizioso got away well on the number 4. It's Lorenzo in 3rd place. Here is Marquez on board, coming down from 13th place. Marquez picking up a few places. There's Marquez aggressive up the inside of Crutchlow. And it's Dovizioso that leads from Lorenzo. Iannone back to 3rd, but did he jump the start?
Very aggressive stuff by Jorge Lorenzo as well, right as we see in these sort of races where he runs them at the front. He wants to get in the lead, but we will wait and see about Andrea Iannone. That was an electric start, but was it a legal start? Great start by Polo Spargaro. Danny Pedrosa not so good. Valentino Rossi, not a good start. Great start also by Bradley Smith.
Bradley Smith up from 11th into 4th, and there's Marquez up the inside of Polo Spargaro. Marquez started in 13th place on the grid. He's up to 5th. Lorenzo now into the lead at Area Beata 1 ahead of Dovizioso. Well, we wait to see if there was a jump start from Andrea Iannone. If it wasn't a jump start, it was a great anticipation of the lights, but it did look like he might have just slightly moved. Marquez now up the inside of Bradley Smith. He's picked off 9 riders on the opening lap already.
What a start by the world champion and the race winner here last year. We ride with Jorge Lorenzo. Does he run it a little bit wide there? No. That's his style. Right behind him, battering at him. That's Andrea Dovizioso, Andrea Iannone. But Marquez running in 4th place. Not a great start by Valentino Rossi. That will disappoint the crowd. He's down in 11th place, and he is still down in 11th place.
Well, we talked about how aggressive off the line, how quick off the line the likes of Bradley Smith and Marquez are. They both got electrifying starts. Lorenzo comes across the line to lead at the end of lap 1. Dovizioso and Iannone 2nd and 3rd. And it is Marquez all the way up from 13th on the grid. He's up the inside now. Iannone at the first corner. Marquez inside the top 3.
We ride with Marquez. Iannone could come back up the inside. Remember that ferocious battle. We're now riding with Valentino Rossi in 9th place. Remember that ferocious battle the two of them had at Le Mans just 2 weeks ago. What did Livio Super 7? Not quite sure what he's going to do. Dylan suggested he may take it easy in the early laps. Marquez is flying and he's in 3rd place, and he means business. And Rossi now also on the charge, because Rossi knows he can't allow them to get away at the front.
Valentino Rossi back in 9th place. Next in his sights is Cal Crutchlow. Here's Lorenzo down at Arabiata 1. Dovizioso still in 2nd place. He's got Marquez glued to the back wheel of that Ducati GP15. They climb up the hill now into Arabiata 2. Lorenzo leads the way. Iannone still holding back the Tech 3 duo of Bradley Smith and Polo Spargaro. But what a start by Marquez. Well, nobody in the paddock was willing to write him off yesterday when he knew he was going to start from the 5th row of the grid, and in 1.5 laps he showed exactly why nobody was writing him off. Sensational performance by the world champion.
But Jorge Lorenzo exactly where he wants to be. Now he will start reeling off those very, very fast, consistent laps, and he will put the message back to the Ducatis, to Marquez and everybody else. Can you run this pace throughout the race? Because you know that I can.
On board with Marquez as now we power onto the start-finish straight. They'll be going all the way up to 6th gear, approaching 215 miles an hour. Just looking on the graphic here in the press in the commentary box, Carol Abraham jumped the start. No sign yet of a jump start for Andrea Iannone. So if Iannone didn't jump the start,
it comes Marquez up the inside of Andrea Dovizioso, down at San Donato where he had the crash yesterday. We ride with Dovizioso. Marquez up into 2nd place from the 13th place on the grid. We have a faller here, and it's Spargaro.
Oh, that's terrible news for the factory Suzuki rider. He's on his haunches in the gravel, holding his right hand, of course, already badly damaged after that big practice crash in Le Mans. Spargaro there crashed out. That's at the first corner, San Donato. It looks like he might have a bit of a puncture wound there. Looks like his leathers have ripped on his right hip. No jump start like the moment. We've seen a jump start come up on our timing screens here in the commentary box for Carol Abraham. So if Andrea Iannone absolutely must have made a sensational start from pole position. He's dropped back to 4th place. He must have got a great launch when he saw the lights go out. Lorenzo leads the way. Marquez now leading the pursuit from the 5th row of the grid. Valentino Rossi still back in 9th place, trying to find a way by Cal Crutchlow.
Right through penalty for Carl Abram. That was a jump start. That's what will be coming up on his dashboard on his bike. Remember the race here last year between Jorge Lorenzo and Marc Marquez? It's deja vu all again. Can the Ducatis run the pace with the Yamaha and the Honda at the front?
Imagine what's going to go through Jorge Lorenzo's mind when he gets on his pit board. +0, number 93. Because there is Marc Marquez now, right in the slipstream of Jorge Lorenzo. They power down the straight but complete the third lap.
There is the board. Here we go. You've got that wrong. Can't be Marc Marquez. It is Marc Marquez. As they race down over the rise, down towards San Donato. 20 laps to go, round 6 of the championship. Just where we want to be. With a like Valentino Rossi, perhaps to just be that little bit higher. As we ride with the man, seeking his 3rd successive Grand Prix win. The last 6 races here, Jorge Lorenzo has finished 1st or 2nd. He leads the way, but right in his face is a number 93, Marc Marquez, as we switch to the Honda.
Yeah, we've lost Jack Miller. He's crashed out, the Australian rookie, of course, crashed out here in the league group in Moto3 last year. On the last lap, lap number 3, Marc Marquez set the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1:47.654. It's still Jorge Lorenzo that leads the way. Marc Marquez in 2nd place. The factory Ducatis of Dovizioso and Iannone still sitting behind. These 4 have broken away from Bradley Smith. Here's a replay of the start. We're going to look at Carol Abraham jumping the start.
You're not sure, are you?
No, I'm not sure. Oh, and obviously, well, I guess he hasn't jumped the start because at the moment, well, look at Yoni Hernandez there, big speed. Well, this is the start down into San Donato. Marc Marquez running up the inside, bike weaving and bobbing. That Repsol is diving up the inside of Dani Pedrosa and Michele Pirro. Aleix Espargaro also picked off there by the world champion. And Aleix Espargaro, actually, he's had an incident with Marquez taking out Cal Crutchlow as well. He's got the inside line there, no room for Crutchlow to cut it back. There is Nicky Hayden, the 2nd of the open class Hondas to crash. That's at turn number 4, the Materazzi corner. So there's some early crashes here, riders number 6 and 69. So Bradle and Hayden are out of the race. Lorenzo over the line, personal best lap of the race for the Spaniard, a 1:47.700, found 4/10 of a second over Marc Marquez on lap number 4.
Just a little bit ominous, I would say, wouldn't you? Lorenzo just starting to up the pace a little bit at the front, riding that super smooth style. Marquez will probably want a little bit of a breather. That was an amazing first corner by Marquez when we saw it in slow motion, because going in on the brakes you expected, he was still picking people off all the way through, wasn't he? I tell you, who was in front of him and made a great start was Bradley Smith, as you just saw the rear end of the Yamaha in that slow-mo picture. Dylan.
Yeah, sorry guys, as you were just looking at that start replay, Alex De Angelis has come into the pits with the technical problem. They haven't pushed the bike into the garage, and it looks like they're trying to send him back out again, at least to run race distance on the machine.
There is Bradley Smith coming under a little bit of pressure now from Cal Crutchlow, Pol Espargaro, and Valentino Rossi. Not making enormous progress, is he, in 9th place?
Valentino Rossi down in 9th, as you say, 4.5 seconds back of his teammate Jorge Lorenzo at the front of the field. On the last lap, Valentino Rossi 1 second slower than Jorge Lorenzo, so he just can't find a way past Pol Espargaro and Cal Crutchlow. Dani Pedrosa's gained 1 place up to 5th by Bradley Smith. We saw that replay of Marquez and that run down to the first corner. He just arrowed his way to the right hand side of the track to make sure he had the inside line of going into the first corner. As we said, he dived under the likes of his teammate Dani Pedrosa, Aleix Espargaro. Just quickly coming back to the incident with Aleix Espargaro, that's under investigation by the race stewards, because Danilo Petrucci, the number 9, also involved in that collision at turn 1.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. It's over 1 second now, Jorge Lorenzo. This is deja vu for Marquez and Le Mans. He's up in the pace. And now Andrea Dovizioso has got past Marc Marquez down at turn number 1, San Donato. So that's where he made all the overtaking on the very first bend. Marc Marquez, but now he's been pegged back by the Ducatis.
Yeah, Marquez 0.3 of a second slower on that last lap compared to Iannone and Dovizioso, but it's Jorge Lorenzo, just as he did in Le Mans and Jerez, that's making a breakaway at the front. You can see on that caption there, Marc Marquez, the only one of this lead group to be running the hard option front tyre. Everybody else, well, Lorenzo and Dovizioso ahead of him, they've got the medium option front, as does Andrea Iannone.
And that's actually quite telling, because you would think that the hard tyre should really come into its own in going into turn one in that braking zone with that greater stability, but that just shows some of the problems that Marquez is still having on that if the Ducatis can get past on the medium like that.
Down at Pelagio, there is 17 and a half laps to go. Lorenzo chasing that hat-trick of wins. And he certainly is getting away with it. This is the incident with Danilo Petrucci and Aleix Espargaro. He looks pretty correct. I think he's probably in such pain that it's made him feel the way he looks.
Yeah, that was a big impact on the right-hand side. The worst impact moment for Aleix Espargaro, as we can see on that caption running across the bottom of your screens. That incident between Aleix Espargaro and Danilo Petrucci will be reviewed after the race. Jorge Lorenzo has got the hammer down. He's checking out here in Mugello through the third sector, 1.8 seconds clear of Andrea Dovizioso. Lorenzo's already turning this race into a romp.
Here comes Marquez, here comes Iannone, but very strong in the brakes indeed with Andrea Dovizioso as they tip it into San Donato. Iannone hanging onto the rear wheel of Marquez. This was all the other riders' fear, wasn't it, what would happen if Lorenzo got in the front. Once again, very, very aggressive in the opening lap of the race, and then, thank you, goodbye.
Look at that graphic there on the bottom of your screens. Jorge Lorenzo on the last lap, 0.9 of a second quicker.